And by that I mean that the SQL Server allows SQL snapshotting, and 2, that you do not have mirroring turned on. If you do, then this won't work. It will break on you. And yes, I want to see us get a fix so that it doesn't break on you. It just tells you it won't. But instead it will throw an exception at this point in time. Okay, so the user goes and requests an evaluation site collection. It's an existing site collection that they are site collection administrator for. Next, because that has been requested for a eval, within the next 24 hours or so, at least 24 hours within the default of the timer jobs schedule, the create evaluation site collection job will run, and it's going to then go through and create a snapshot of the entire content database where any evaluation sites have been requested. So if it's just 1, it makes a snapshot. If it's 30, it makes a snapshot, just 1. Once it's made that snapshot, then it iterates through each of those site collections. And what it's doing is it's making a clone of that site collection. So basically, it's a lot like, down in the depth of how this product works, this part of the product works is very much like the move SP site command, copying data from one set of tables to another set of tables between 2 databases on the same SQL server. However, what it's also doing here is it's transforming the URL as it's doing this copy. So it's making sure that the URL is different. It also is making sure the site collection ID is different. And it needs to do that, otherwise it wouldn't work. Especially because, as you notice here, the default here is it's creating the copy in the exact same databases where the source site collection came from. And if they had the same ID, they would find it. Okay. Now, the next step is making sure that the source site collection is aware that it has an evaluation partner. And the reason it does that is so that you don't keep requesting more evaluation sites. The next thing it does is go through and add that site collection to the sitemap, so that now you can actually get to the site collection. So far it's just basically a pre-orphaned site collection. And now you're bringing it back in, making it part of the sitemap and therefore visible. It also marks it as an evaluation site collection. If you go down to the individual SP site at the object model level, you'll see is evaluation. It'll say true, in this case, for that set for the copy. And then, depending on how you requested it, it'll also queue this for upgrade. But it doesn't upgrade it in the creation process. Then that'll happen in a separate piece shortly. The last thing the timer job does after it's made all these copies for that particular database is it then goes to try and clean up the snapshot. If for whatever reason it's prevented from cleaning up the snapshot and it runs again in the future, then it will also try to clean up the snapshot. So it's not going to, it's going to try and leave all kinds of snapshots around forever. Now, at some later time, usually within about a minute after the site collection is created, because that's the default amount of time for the upgrade timer job, it will come through and queue that, or take that site collection that's been queued for upgrade now, run through the upgrade process, and now you'll have a site collection that's completed and it's upgraded. Now, I'm not showing it here, but if you have set to send an email to the site collection administrator who requested it, then at this point in time, it will also queue up an email that will get sent to that person saying, hey, your site collection has been created and it's been upgraded. Here you go and take a look at it. Now, the alternate here is if you don't have snapshot capability. And it's very, very much the same thing. And that is, the user goes and requests it. 2, the timer job goes, or starts, and makes a backup of the site collection, not the whole database, just the site collection. Now, one of the side effects of this, of course, is it's a site collection backup. It's limited to the maximum size of site collection backup you can even possibly do, which I would say never push beyond 85 gigabytes in size. If you're pushing beyond 85 gigabytes for a site collection backup, you're probably going to fail in either the backup or the restore operation. However, you probably don't have many of those. Or if you do, you're probably not using this feature to do evaluation. Next, it takes that backup and it restores it to a new URL. So it gets a new GUID, it gets a new URL as part of the restore operation. Then, does all the same pieces that it would already if it had been a backup. sets in the sitemap, makes them paired, gets it all ready, and then lastly, cleans up that backup. And once again, if it was queued for upgrade, the timer job will queue through it, say, hey, I want to upgrade the site collection, and you're at the exact same state.